Is the world preparing for another financial framework? Can Ripple benefit from the sanctions on the country? What does the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, say on this? Remain tuned till the finish of the video to find out. Welcome viewers to Pianta Crypto. Here we bring you the latest updates on cryptocurrencies. Please hit the subscription button, like my video and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. The news pouring in from across the globe proposes that another financial framework is currently being created. We should investigate a few of them to perceive how serious organizations and governments are tied in with finishing their reliance on SWIFT. The first piece of information is from December 20, 21, when Craig Tamind, Ripple Senior Product Director, was delegated to one of the main roles on the United States Faster Installments Council. Mr. Hang Tight was responsible for coordinating the council activities in the area of cross-border installments in his new position. Furthermore, he was required to explore the capability of central bank computerized currencies and other sophisticated advanced installment instruments in the area of cross-border esteem transfers. An article from Ripple Understanding is straightaway. So Ripple improvement in services 3 accelerating cross-border transactions was complemented by the Federal Reserve. The team, which was laid out in 2015 after the Federal Reserve recognized the need to encourage improvements in installments, so they brought together a diverse group of 320 stakeholders, including banks, regulators, end users, and technology companies, to create a roadmap for modernizing the United States installments infrastructure. Ripple presented the intellect year-based arrangement, which considers enhanced informing and monitoring for real-time installments, separating itself as the sole approach that is focused on reducing the friction associated with cross-border installments now in years. Since presenting the proposal in May 2016, Ripple has announced the formation of a bank advisory board, the worldwide installment steering group, which will aid the advancement of rules and codified standards for installment activity throughout Ripple network of financial organizations. You are very much aware of where this could lead, and presently we will happen to the latest CNN news. The United States has forced fresh restrictions on Russian and Belarusian organizations, including punishments against Russian oil refining. However, view this other news piece. The article is here, which claims that all Belarusian banks are prepared for disconnection from SWIFT. Furthermore, this article was distributed in 2021, indicating that they were aware of the requirement for another framework since SWIFT is controlled by West. Therefore, they have moved to the Russian Financial Informing Service well in advance of the actual occasion. These occasions that are occurring throughout the globe today are not coincidental because they have been pre-arranged. What is your take of it? To give you a thought, check this tweet from Matthew, which evidently demonstrates that the world is preparing for another financial framework. This framework will have another unit of account. According to Matthew, the new BRICS Pay and NIPS installment networks will be a computerized currency installment network. This will be the SWIFT non-American alternative installment network. As a result, the new currency will include contributions from India, Russia, the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, China, Japan, South Africa, and Brazil. Garlinghouse went totally over the profound end on precisely what he accepts. What is the deal with the cryptocurrency world and the present situation in which we find ourselves? Rob Price, corresponding to Business Insider, tweeted crypto exchanges are refusing calls to freeze Russian accounts. Of Binance spokesperson said doing as such would fly in the face of the reason why crypto exists. Back-in CEO said the move would abuse Bitcoin libertarian values, to which Brad Garlinghouse shared a thread in which he said, "I continue to see foolish arguments from uninformed intellectuals of how crypto works. I need to reiterate what Debrigo Blue said yesterday. There are factual reasons why crypto cannot be utilized on a broad scale for Russia to sidestep sanctions." Garlinghouse is referring to the Ashish Birla tweet thread in which he gave strong evidence on why Bitcoin cannot be utilized by Russia to keep away from sanctions. So he writes in his thread, over the most recent couple of days, we have seen some say that Russia could possibly dodge sanctions and get around SWIFT utilizing crypto. I laid out a portion of the key arguments refuting this beneath in a chart. Number 1. Crypto is just becoming more effectively trackable by software and governments. Number 2. There essentially isn't sufficient worldwide liquidity to support Russian necessities. The country future trading needs, not people. Number 3. On slice-off ramps are overall regulated financial foundations that need to keep Office of Foreign Resources control lights. Jumping into number 2. Our group investigated the information behind this as expressed by the U.S. Treasury Department. Russia conducts nearly $50 billion in future trading transactions daily. As the largest crypto Bitcoin volume is generally between around 20 to 50 billion every day, Russian needs would encompass Bitcoin and more. Starting at January 20, 22, you can send approximately $200,000 worth of Russian rubles all at once through BTC on Binance versus $3.70000 through Bitcoin Slice USD and $2.9000000 through Bitcoin Cut Euro and Bitstamp. Regardless of whether you were sending approximately $200,000 every moment and expecting the Bitcoin Slice ruble market was sufficiently resilient to promptly replenish the liquidity, which is very doubtful. You are nowhere near $50 billion per day. Additionally, the complete average everyday volume over the last month for Bitcoin ruble has been simply approximately $11 million. Well, do you consider Bitcoin can't endure such a measure of transactions that will Ripple be utilized rather than Bitcoin? Brad Garling responded to the inquiry with a tweet saying that it was not feasible. According to him, the reason is that Ripple is a US-based corporation that follows the Office of Foreign Resources Control punishments, which are forced on any country that abuses them. In a series of tweets, he provided further clarification: to convert crypto to fiat, exchanges rely on financial partners who could lose their licenses if somebody on the Office of Foreign Resources Control list can fall through. Extremely stringent KYC and AML policies are in place to stay away from precisely this. RippleNet, for instance, has generally been and remains today committed to not working with sanctioned banks or countries that are restricted counterparties. Ripple and our customer support and enforce Office of Foreign Resources Control regulations in KYC and AML, as opposed to standing by listening to responsible players who have been cleared. They will maintain legitimate sanction.